God's Chosen Productions, Adewale Dada the Good, presents LISABI OBA ADEDOTUN GBADEBO, an inspiring history of Egba.
A freedom fighter,
a liberator of the Egbas,
an extraordinary man,
a national hero, the greatest hero the Egbas have,
the liberator of all the Egbas from slavery.
ọmọ olùgbẹ̀dẹ̀gbẹ̀dẹ̀gbẹ̀dẹ̀ bọ́jẹ̀jà LISABI a kì í jọ́ ọmọ ẹlẹ́kùnkẹ́kùn panijẹ kábíyèsí o.
Would be the one that would call my father. People of Egbaland have chosen somebody that they can be proud of.
He has been very concerned about the development of Egbaland.
Fantastic.
A great pillar.
Caring. ADEDOTUN, EGBADEBO.
Intelligent, extremely patient.
very nice and generous person.
You can see peace.
God sent OBA.
Ọba Gbadebo ọba tèmi ni ọ̀run ló ti mọ́rí adé wáyé ọmọ Gbadebo ìwọ lọ́mọ alábàájá ṣẹ́gi ará kẹ́mọ̀ ìjọ ọmọ akẹ́mẹ́yẹ ọmọ àjò méjì ọmọ àjọgbẹ́rú ọmọ àjọgbẹ́kọ ọmọ ẹrú nísìnyí ẹ̀kọ́ wọn gbọ́dọ̀ sìnìyàn màjọgbẹ́ lọ́ba ìlàbílàkẹ́ ìlàdó ọmọ èrè tí kú bá wọ lọ́lọ́ ìwọ lọ́mọ gbẹ̀yìn ọmọ òjòrú lé ọmọ níjàmẹ́lẹ́kùn pẹ́kùn panijẹ́ lé bàbá tó bí ọlọ́mọ ọmọ ajáwé lọ́ba lórí o ẹ̀yìn lọ́mọ òjòrú lé ọmọ apẹ̀kùn lé dọ́ba ńlẹ́ ọmọ ẹkùn tìbí torítorí ọmọ ẹkùn tìbí tìrùtìrù ńlẹ́ ọmọ ẹkùn tìbí.
When a good king reigns, the people are happy and they rejoice. Egba Kingdom has not been the same since the present ALAKE of Egbaland, a true descendant of the father of Egba, LISABI, OBA ADEDOTUN GBADEBO OKUKENU IV, ascended the throne of his forefathers. Hello and welcome to this special documentary, LISABI to OBA ADEDOTUN GBADEBO, an inspiring history of Egba. In it, we shall get to know more about LISABI and the present ALAKE of Egbaland. On the hills and in the valleys, where OBA ADEDOTUN GBADEBO was born, there he was bred and brought up in an independent state. OBA ADEDOTUN GBADEBO is proud of Abeokuta. He stands on Olumo Rock and rejoices in the name of Egbaland. OBA ADEDOTUN GBADEBO is a descendant of LISABI. Abeokuta, the land of Egba, OBA ADEDOTUN GBADEBO will not forget thee. He will put thee first in his heart as a Nigerian town. OBA ADEDOTUN GBADEBO shall rejoice on Olumo Rock. He shall boast of this in his heart, that in a famous town there live the Egbas.
The history of Abeokuta, the abode of Egba, started with the liberation of Egbas from the sovereignty and overlordship of the Alaafin of Oyo Empire, which Egba hitherto belonged. The liberation took place between 1775 and 1780 under the leadership of LISABI, a resident of EGBA, but who was born in Itoku. He organized a movement under the name EGBA, Traditional Mutual Aid Society. LISABI later used the mutual aid assistance to free the Egbas by organizing the simultaneous killing of the Ajeles or the Ilaris in all Egba townships in 1780, starting from Igbeyi.
Èmi LISABI agbóngbàkàlà ọmọ ìgbàjáre wa kílẹ̀ ṣé ọmọ ní kan ọmọ rẹ̀ pàmòdà. Èmi àpàjẹ́lẹ̀ ìlú Alígbèyí. Kí má ti pàjẹ́lẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ìlú Alígbèyí. Máa níbẹ̀ ọ̀dọ́ àró LISABI bẹ̀rẹ̀. Kíkálukú pàjẹ́lẹ̀ wà ládùúgbò rẹ̀.
In all, more than 600 Ilaris or Ajeles were wiped out in one day. Ilaris were the representatives of the Alaafin of Oyo and collectors of the tributes paid to the coffers of Alaafin from all territories under the then Oyo Empire. These Ajeles or Ilaris in general behaved like an army of occupation in the places they administered. Their tyrannical rule marked them out as instrument of oppression and suppression of the people.
It's all
ènìyàn bá ń ṣe tí ijó àti ìlú pọ̀ báwo.
káàkiri o nǹkan ayọ̀ là ń ṣe òun ayọ̀ ìyàwó là ń ṣe.
ìyàwó là ń ṣe.
ìyàwó wa bá wa.
ìgbà ayọ̀ là ń ṣe.
ìyàwó wa bá wa kábíyèsí.
ìyàwó ọ̀sìn kì náà dà.
kábíyèsí o bàbá.
bàbá ń kí ọ. bí ẹ sọ.
ọba ní ọ̀gẹ́.
ìyàwó ọ̀sìn kì. ògùn ni ó pa bàbá ńlá yìí.
ẹ ṣe.
Oya, ẹ pàgbó. Èmi náà fẹ́ ṣèyọ́.
ọba náà fẹ́ ṣèyọ́.
Fẹ́ ṣèyọ́. Èmi náà fẹ́ ṣèyọ́.
Ògùntàdé àmúgbò ajẹ́lẹ̀ gba ìyàwó mi ajẹ́lẹ̀.
Báyìí sí apá ti máa ṣe àwọn ajẹ́lẹ̀ burúkú yìí sí o.
Oúnjẹ náà gbọ́n pọ̀.
Kábíyèsí o kábíyèsí o.
It was the authoritarian rule of Alaafin and the reckless lifestyles of his Ilaris in Egbaland that threw up LISABI and his peers, who were resolved to bring an end to the evil rule at all costs. The adoption of the universally popular ARO system of cooperation by the EGBA Arms Bearers Club was the strategy LISABI used to plot against the Ilaris at the appointed time, and taking the cue from LISABI, who had massacred the Ilaris in his EGBA town, all the other EGBA towns rose up and killed the Ilaris in their midst. As soon as the news reached Metropolitan Oyo, the Oloyo wasted no time in dispatching an army to crush the EGBA rebellion. But LISABI, the visionary, had anticipated the reprisal and had factored it into his plans. The army of vengeance was rooted, and the freedom of the Egbas from the yoke of the Alaafin was sealed.
ó bá àlejò táni wá èmi ń ṣàfẹ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ka ọmọ ìgbàjá ilé wa kílẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ọmọ oníkọ̀ọ́mọ́rò ìlànà ìjà ọ̀pọ̀ ìkọ́lẹ̀ yẹn bá ní kó fọwọ́ fún mi gbà fún ẹ ẹlẹ́fẹ̀ ọlọ́gbọ̀n mi di mọ́kànlá mo dẹni àyíká oṣù òde tó bá ká mi àkúpì ọbẹ̀ àbàtà mi di mọ́kànlá mo dẹni àyíká àjà ẹlẹ́ tó bá ká mi àkúpì àtàrà èmi di mọ́kànlá mo dẹni àyíká àjà ẹlẹ́ ẹlẹ́gbọ̀lóògùn tó bá ká mi kíní ìyá àkúpì. ọlọ́mọdé tó bá dá ìsapá àpá ṣé orí dèdè àwọn orí ìjọ yìí ọ̀wọ̀ ti jẹ́ fáwa. torí àwọn ọmọ mi wọn ikú kò máa wo àrùn kò mọ̀ ṣe gbòó pàrọ̀ agbórí ìlú ó sọ ma mọ̀ ọ́ kọrin ó pa dídì àwọn ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ àtẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ ó sọ ma kíkó báyìí ẹ̀kú adífá fún ọ̀wọ̀ ìyíṣẹ́ ọmọ bíbí inú àgbọ̀n mi lè dùn ọ̀wọ̀ ọkọ̀ wọ̀ jẹ́ fáwa wọ̀ jẹ́ fáwa lè lù. ẹlẹ́fẹ̀ a ò ní ìtajà olómọlòpọ àdìbá tóbi lákùtẹ̀ àdìbá bẹ́ẹ̀ onídà lọ́wọ́ eṣiṣi àdìfẹ́ olè dàbọ̀jú wọ̀ alógbò ọ̀nà òṣèré ń bọ̀. wọ́nà òsà. ìwọ náà ẹ̀mí mo ní òun ráyé wọn lóògùn. ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀yẹ ká mi lóògùn jùbẹ̀. LISABI agbọ̀ngbọ̀ ìwọ. Para tapar de novo aqui. Olha, pede.
The time to which this episode in Egba history relates was between 1775 and 1780. Who is LISABI to Egba? Here are some indigenes of Egbaland.
Warrior and leader, a great strategist. It was the scheme that he devised. It was the scheme that he devised that made it possible for the Egbas to liberate themselves from the yoke of the ALAKE of Oyo.
He was a great man by dint of hard work, devotion to duty, and large dose of patriotism. He became a hero. The ordinary man who LISABI was became an extraordinary man.
At the time when the Oloyo had the overall sovereignty in what is totally known now as the Yoruba Empire, it was the instrumentality of LISABI, his patriotism, and all his industry and what he stood for that engineered the freedom of the Egba people from the slavery.
A liberator of the Egbas. I think it's laudable to remember him always, to do whatever we can, not to let his memory go into oblivion.
Is the liberator of all the Egbas from slavery and from all forms of oppression before we are settled in this very homestead.
Well, LISABI, we all know, according to history, to be a great warrior, who essentially was responsible for the liberation of the Egbas.
The name LISABI gives joy to me because you find that when you are talking of a worthy person who is an Egba, he refers to himself as Egba or LISABI. LISABI seems to have assumed the role of the second Adam in the life of the Egba man. LISABI has demonstrated qualities which, if properly harnessed and utilized, will help Nigeria to move forward as a nation. And what quality are we talking about? We are talking about desired leadership qualities, selflessness, courage, tenacity, focus, vision. And you can go on and on and on and on like that. But I think that LISABI as a freedom fighter.
Wọ́n máa kì í, wọ́n ní ìtòkù erékè ọjà, ọmọ àfilépogun, ọmọ alùgbẹ̀dẹ̀gbẹ̀dẹ̀ bọ́tẹ̀jà, ogun kò má jàjàjà kó jalé ìtòkù, àyàmọ́ bá máa kódù ẹ̀kún wọn lọ. Bá a tún kí LISABI, ààrẹ ilé ìgbìmọ̀ tó mórí gbórí, abiléjorú, ìdágìrìgìrì tí dánmọ lójú àlá ẹni mú pé wọn alémọ̀rẹ́ rẹ̀ bí eégún wọgú adà wọ́n gẹ̀rẹ̀gẹ̀rẹ̀ ọgọ̀ ajágàsẹ̀ ìgbìyìn lọ́mọ tẹ́ríwo sílẹ̀ fẹ́kùn wọn lọ́mọ gòdòmù tí wọ́n gbé ẹ nílò àgẹ̀rẹ̀ ìgbé kì í yọ tán nínú ìkara wọn.
The period between 1780 and 1828 in the history of Egba was post-LISABI era in the Egba forest. One would have thought that having been liberated from the vice-like grip of imperialism, the Egbas were not given to serving any monarch, even though they had obas, and their constitution was monarchical, who strived to sustain their newfound freedom by forging stronger cooperative relations among themselves. That was not to be, for as long as the leopard finds it impossible to shed its sport, so did the Egbas find it difficult to cooperate and nurture mutual unity. Those factors which were inherent in their psychological makeup soon resurfaced. Once the focus of their unusual unity somehow superimposed by LISABI's force of character was missing, the internal squabbles and disaffection among the people were often fertilized by the interpersonal dissension among the leaders who were mainly chiefs. Around 1829, Lamodi of Igbe, the Balogun of Egba, living in Maya's camp in Ibadan, decided that the Egbas should find a way of escape. The Egbas had heard about Abeokuta earlier on in their quest for a place with good security to settle in. They sent Chief Shobokun, the Baamokun of Ilugun, and others to bring a handful of earth from the proposed site. The Ifa oracle was consulted with this handful of earth, and Ifa pronounced that the place was good for settlement. History reveals that the Egbas did not get to Abeokuta at the same time. The first batch to arrive at Abeokuta consisted of ALAKE, OKUKENU, and EGBA in that order. Later, Olufakun led the Ewus to Abeokuta, while others followed. Lamodi lost his life in an epic battle while trying to prevent his first son, Oshota, from being captured by Maya's army, who were pursuing the Egbas. But before he died, he handed over the mantle of leadership of Egba army to Shodeke, the Seriki of Egba. Shodeke in 1830 led the ALAKE into Abeokuta. Balogun Olunloye, the Balogun Ilugun, led Egba OKUKENU. Oluwole Agbo, Balogun Ojo Ogbagora, led the Baghoras to Abeokuta, while Olufakun led the Ewus to Abeokuta. Seriki Shodeke from Iporo, like Joshua in the Bible, finally took the Egbas to Abeokuta in 1830. It was revealed that an Itoko chief named Idowu Liperu had earlier been living in the settlement. He crossed the Ogun River and settled on a farmland where 3 hunters, namely Jibulu, Osho, and Olunle, joined him. Unlike Likperu, who erected a house with the assistance of the then Olubara Lafa, the 3 hunters lodged in some caves inside Olumo Rock. It was they who told the EGBA delegates who came to take soil samples about the Olumo. Later, Adaba and others moved to the rock to join Likperu and the 3 hunters who had settled there. Adaba was a brave man who had his farmland located very close to Olumo Rock. The settlement was then called Okwadagba, the other name for Abeokuta, while Olumo Rock took its name from its being naturally furnished with apartments, Olumo, meaning built by the Lord. Other historians maintained that the meaning of Olumo is Oluwafimo, meaning God put an end to hostility against the Egbas and their sufferings. Abeokuta is also known as Abeolumo. After the demise of Chief Shodeke, Abeokuta had no leader for quite a number of years. The administration of the town was left in the hands of chiefs like Ogunbono, the Balogun of Ikija, OKUKENU, the Sabua of Ake, Chief Shomoye, the Seriki, who later became Bashorun, who succeeded Chief Apati, Bada of Kenta, and the chiefs among the Ogboni, Ologun, and Olorogun. The Egbas realized the fact that they were not as united as they had been when Shodeke brought them together. The thought of having an Oba came to them, and the idea crystallized. The lot fell on Chief OKUKENU, Sagbua of Ake, the head of Egba Ogbonis, and an industrious woodcarver. He was installed the ALAKE of Abeokuta on August 8, 1854. Oba OKUKENU's reign witnessed the advancement of Christianity, commerce, and the advent of European merchants in Abeokuta. Oba OKUKENU ruled Egbaland between 1854 and 1862. An interregnum of about 7 years elapsed between the death of Oba OKUKENU and the installation of a new Oba in the person of Oba Ademola I. Oba Ademola I reigned between 1869 and 1877. Oba Oyekan reigned between 1879 and 1881. It was the turn of Oba Luwaji between 1885 and 1889. Oba Oshokalu reigned between 1891 and 1898. Egba became a nation during the reign of Oba Oshokalu. Oba GBADEBO I ruled between 1898 and 1920. Oba Sa Ladapo Ademola II, 1920 to 1962. Oba Adeshino GBADEBO II, 1963 to 1971. The immediate past ALAKE of Egbaland, Oba Dr. Oyebade Likpede, ruled between 1972 and the year 2005. And now, the 10th ALAKE of Egbaland. Before we go further into the present, let us take a quick glance at the reigns of the past and present sectional Obas in Egbaland. These are the past Oba Oshile of OKUKENU Egba, Oba Karonwe I, 1897 to 1899, Oba Sonyaolu Adebare, 1900 to 1902, Oba David Shokunbi Karonwe II, 1904 to 1918, Oba Suberu Adedamola I, 1918 to 1932, Oba Idowu Adedotun, 1932 to 1934, Oba Emmanuel Shobayo Adebare II, 1934 to 1944, Oba Alimi Adeniran Adedamola II, 1951 to 1988, and the incumbent Oba Dr. Adedapo Tejosho Karonwe III Oromiyan. Long may you reign, Kabiesi. And now, past Oba Agura of Bagura, Oba Jamolu 1870 to 1877. Oba Ijade, 1887 to 1893. Oba Olubume, 1897 to 1910. Oba Sanusi Abolade, 1910 to 1915. Oba Adeosun I, 1915 to 1936. Oba Bakare Babashola Olaloko Shobekun I, 1937 to 1960. Oba Raufu Adeshino Adeosun II, 1961 to 1978. And the incumbent Oba Halidu Ajani Adedayo Olaloko Shobekun II. Long may you reign, Kabiyesi. And now, the past Obas in Owu. Oba Pawu, 1855 to 1867. Oba Adefowote, 1869 to 1872. Oba Aderemoye, 1873 to 1890. Oba Adepegba, 1897 to 1905. Oba Owokade, 1906 to 1918. Oba Dosumu, 1918 to 1924. Oba Adeshina, 1924 to 1936. Oba Adelani Gbogboade, 1938 to 1946. Oba Salami Ajibola Gbadela II, 1946 to 1972. Oba Samuel Adebowale Oyegbade, 1976 to 1980. Oba Michael Aide Oyelekan, 29th April 1987 to 8th May 1987. Oba Dr. Olawale Adisa Odeleye, 1993 to 2003. And the incumbent, Oba Olusoya Adegboyega Dosumu Amororo. Long may you reign, Kabiyesi. And the past and present Olubara, Oba Lalubu, Oba Osho Olumola, Oba Agorojoko, Oba Asheshe Oduro, Oba Ajiboyede I, Oba Lafa I, Oba Adubiwaji, Oba Samuel Adetola Adeshino Lalubu II, Oba Simeon Murakiyo Ayinla Odunjo Ajiboyede II, and the incumbent Oba Jacob Olufemi Omolade Lafa II. Long may you reign, Kabiyesi.
Oba Adedotun Gbadebo, the 10th Alake of Egbaland, from childhood to Obaship.
Oba tuntun Adedotun Gbadebo, Oba Alake tilẹ̀ gbà, OKUKENU kẹrin, ìbárí ọ̀tún wà lára, ìbárí ọ̀tún wà lára, OKUKENU kẹrin, ọmọ láàrin abẹ́lókun, ọmọ afẹ́rúwẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ mọ́, Alake tilẹ̀ gbà, ìbárí ọ̀tún wà lára, eku akẹ́ bí eku, ẹyẹ akẹ́ bí ẹyẹ, ìlú Ẹ̀gbá àtòrò, ìlú Ẹ̀gbá àtòrò, ìbáyé ọ̀sán wá síre, ìbáyé ọ̀sán wá sówó, ìbáyé ọ̀sán wá sọ́mọ, OKUKENU kẹrin, ọmọ láàrin abẹ́lókun, ọmọ afẹ́rúwẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ mọ́, Alake tilẹ̀ gbà, ìbáyé ọ̀sán wá síre, ìbáyé ọ̀sán wá sówó, ìbáyé ọ̀sán wá síre, ọba wa.
In Yoruba land, when a baby is born into a royal family, those who know and appreciate tradition would accord him all the respect of a future king. So, it was on 14th September 1943, a baby boy was born into the family of late Omoba Adesanya Osholake Gbadebo, one of the sons of Oba Gbadebo I, 6th Alake of Egbaland, and Madam Musiliat Gbadebo, who hailed from Ikopa in Abeokuta. Omoba Adedotun Gbadebo was the first son in the family of late Omoba Adesonya Osholake Gbadebo. Some observers therefore concluded that it was just a matter of time before the young Prince Adedotun Gbadebo would ascend the throne of his forefathers. Omoba Adedotun Gbadebo and his siblings had a disciplined upbringing. They were not pampered by their parents, but they had tender parental care and guidance in their formative years. In those early years, he had a lot of fun playing football and engaging in other childhood pastimes with his friends in the open space between the family house and Ake Palace. As a young boy, Omoba Adedotun Gbadebo was enrolled as a pupil at St. Augustine's Roman Catholic Mission RCM School, Itesi, Abeokuta, in January 1949 and graduated in December 1956. After his school, nursery and primary education, he had his secondary school education at the famous Baptist Boys High School, BBHS, OKUKENU, Abeokuta, from January 1957 to December 1962.
Kabiyesi, His Royal Majesty, Oba Dr. Adedotun Gbadebo passed through this school. He was one of the best students during his time, and then he represented the school in many areas.
And his higher school certificate course at the Ibadan Grammar School, Ibadan, from January 1963 to December 1964.
That is something special about grammar school. Records are always intact, no matter the number of years. Available record shows that Kabiyesi came in 1963 for his HSC, and his admission number, according to our records, is 4026. That is 4026.
His favorite subjects were English language and history, and he was quite active in the literary and debating society. After his higher school certificate course, the new ALAKE proceeded to the premier university in Nigeria, University of Ibadan, in 1965, where he successfully graduated and bagged a Bachelor of Arts BA Hons degree in 1969. To further satisfy his thirst for education, he successfully undertook a postgraduate diploma course in education at the University of Ibadan from September 1974 to June 1975. He attended the Command Staff College, Jaji, Nigeria, from September 1978 to August 1979 and graduated with flying colors, obtaining PSC. In December 1969, he was commissioned as a full lieutenant in the Nigerian Army and served meritoriously in these capacities: Officer Instructor, Nigeria Military School, Zaria, February 1970 to July 1971. Adjutant, Nigerian Army School of Education, NASE, Ilori, July 1971 to September 1973. Chief Instructor, October to December 1973. And Senior Instructor, NASE, Ilori, October 1973 to August 1974. Deputy Assistant Adjutant General, Army Headquarters, Education, Lagos, during which he simultaneously acted as Finance Officer, September 1975 to August 1978. General Staff Officer, GDI, Coordination and Training, Command and Staff College, Jaji, August 1979 to August 1981. Chief Research Officer, Nigerian Army, Institute of Education, Lagos, August 1981 to August 1982. Assistant Director of Army Education, Headquarters, 1 Mechanized Infantry Division, Kaduna, August 1982 to January 1984. The military career, spanning about 16 years, culminated in a 20-month very challenging but successful stint at the Supreme Headquarters, then the seat of the federal government of Nigeria. First as Assistant Director, States Administration with responsibility for the 6 states that constituted the old western region of Nigeria, including the then Bendel State, and finally as Principal Staff Officer, Supreme Headquarters, Dada Barracks, from January 1984 to September 1985. During the brilliant military career, he went on study tours to British Joint Staff College, Latimer, UK, British Naval Staff College, Greenwich, UK, British Army Staff College, Camberley, and the Royal Air Force Staff College, Bracknell, UK. He won various medals, including the National Service Medal, NSM, Defense Service Medal, DSM, and Forces Service Star, FSS, among others. He is a staunch member of BBH's Old Boys Association and was president of 1957 to 62 set between 1997 and 2005, when he voluntarily relinquished the position following the approval of his selection as the new ALAKE of Egbaland. At the University of Ibadan, he was a member of the Tender Hall Executive Council in the 1966-1967 academic year. On the 12th April 1971, he got married to Tokunbo Odunjo, now Olori Dr. Mrs. Tokunbo GBADEBO, daughter of the late Pa J.F. Odunjo, Asiwaju of Egbaland, a renowned author of Yoruba literature works. Oba ADEDOTUN GBADEBO OKUKENU IV has, by dint of hard work, achieved notable successes in the highly competitive world of the private sector, which has enriched his background for the exalted royal position of ALAKE and paramount ruler of Egbaland. He has traveled widely all over the globe on business and religious trips. Oba ADEDOTUN GBADEBO, as a boy, indeed enjoyed his youth. Here are some of his childhood playmates.
We've been together for years. During the primary school days, in the evening, we used to play football together on our field, which is very close to their family house. The prank we used to play there, we make sure the father is asleep. We managed to push his father's car out without starting it. Then we take the car around the town for enjoyment. But the last time we did this, we had problem with the car. We had accident on the Ibadan road. So we have to abandon the car. But this time he said, we used to call him Dotun then. We cannot leave this car here. Papa will kill us all. So we have to hire one timber lorry to tow the car. But we didn't bring the car near our house. We left it near the local government council. Then everybody ran away. The following day, Baba was looking for the car. He went to Dr. mother and said, where's my car? I brought the car back last night when I went on outing. Nobody could say anything. Later, some of the workers, Baba was the chief sanitary inspector of the local government. Some of his junior staff said, Baba, your car is near the council. Who might have taken this car there? So when Baba got there, he saw we rushed the car by the side. It must be either Dotun or Bola.
How did the selection of Oba ADEDOTUN GBADEBO go?
Now we have the responsibility of choosing an ALAKE. We were confronted with as many as 11 princes. We were very lucky to have chosen our present Oba. Since his installation, Egbaland has witnessed tremendous progress. As a matter of fact, it is usual whenever you have a GBADEBO on the throne to have rapid progress.
And on Tuesday, the 3rd of August 2005, the election, as required by the 1963 amended Chieftaincy Declaration, was conducted with open ballot among the 23 kingmakers present. 15 out of the kingmakers voted for Oba ADEDOTUN GBADEBO, while 8 voted in favor of Omoba ALAKE GBADEBO. The other candidates scored nil each. The chairman of Omoiyamaru, the kingmakers, Chief E. Adeyemi Adeboye, immediately announced the result to the news media. The Ogun State government had 21 days to confirm or set aside the kingmaker's appointment. As such, the government in council on the 23rd of August 2005 approved the candidature of Omoba ADEDOTUN GBADEBO as the 10th ALAKE of Egbaland. According to EGBA tradition, on Sunday, August 28, 2005, the EGBA ALAKE chiefs sent the Ologun and Olorogun chiefs from the 3 groups in EGBA ALAKE, which are EGBA Arin, EGBA Eku, and EGBA Agbeyin, to bring the new monarch from his Lagos residence, Oduduwa Way, Ikeja, Lagos, to Ile Ogboni Itoku in Abeokuta. They arrived at Ile Ogboni Itoku at about 6:05 p.m. for the commencement of the ascension to the throne of the new ALAKE of Egbaland, rites and rituals. On arrival at Ile Ogboni Itoku, Oluwo Itoku, Chief Olusoji Shodamola, took the ALAKE elect into the inner chamber of the Ogboni house, where certain rites and rituals took place. He led him before the Egba Ogbonis, dancing round the Iroko tree in the center of the Ogboni house 7 times to complete the Ogboni rites and rituals. The ALAKE prostrated 3 times for the entire Egbaland for the last time in his life, and the Oluwo of Itoku, Chief Olusoji Shodamola, flogged the ALAKE 3 times. According to tradition, before the Oluwo Itoku finally handed him over to Omoiyamaru kingmakers for the commencement of the traditional rites. The EGBA gave 7 conditions to the ALAKE elect to fulfill before he could be considered as their supreme monarch. The 7 conditions are: that the new ALAKE must seek for the good, peace, upliftment, and unity of Egbaland at all times. That new ALAKE must cooperate with other sectional obas, recognizing the fact that ALAKE is the leader and one of the fundamental rulers in Yoruba land, which are Oni, Alafi, Oronguila, ALAKE, Awujale, and Oba of Benin. The Ogboni in Egbaland, the Ogbonis, Olorogun and Ologun, Parakoyi and Ode, own this town and the throne of the ALAKE. For this fundamental reason, the new ALAKE must work hand in hand with them, and he must also seek advice from them and take proper care of them. Indiscriminately, the 3 fundamental religions in Egbaland, namely Christianity, Islam, and traditional worship, belong to him. His sovereignty covers them, but he has the free will to adopt the religion of his choice. The new ALAKE must admit to the customary doing and traditions of the Egba people. The new ALAKE must not take anybody in Egba township as his enemy. Most importantly, his co-contestants. He must settle the rivalry between them. And the new Oba ALAKE must not encourage gossips, betrayers, backbiters, and slanderers. They should neither be his friend, nor should he listen to them. After he had read out the conditions in Yoruba language to the new Oba and obtained a firm promise from him, Chief Edmund Adeyemi Adeboye, the Oluwo Ijeun and Oluwo of Egbaland, offered his fervent blessing on Prince Adedotun Gbadebo and on Egbaland for peace, progress, and prosperity during OBA ADEDOTUN Gbadebo's reign. Part of his response and promise to the 7 conditions was his determination to move EGBA to greater heights at all times for the nation's progress and development. Not only did the ALAKE elect say he was fully prepared to draw his fellow contestants to his side, he also promised to take proper care of the chiefs and cooperate with them in transforming Egbaland into a better city. By EGBA tradition, a question and answer session must precede the confinement of the new ALAKE to Ikpebi, a transformatory traditional stopover where the ALAKE elect will stay for 3 months before his coronation. The Ikpebi is a training school to groom the ALAKE and to instill in him the do's and don'ts of the land. In Ikpebi, he undergoes some rituals and rigorous training in the customary art of ruling his people, preparatory to his installation as the ALAKE and paramount ruler of Egbaland. Therefore, the ALAKE elect in a carnival-like procession with members of his family and admirers trekked from Ogboni House at Itoku to the Palace Square, where the Ikpebi is situated. The ALAKE elect, chiefs, and the people of Egbaland arrived at the Ikpebi at about 8:30 p.m. into the hands of scores of Egba sons and daughters who had been awaiting the arrival of Oba ALAKE elect. There, the Oluwo Itoku handed him over to the Oluwo Egba, who in turn handed him over to the Oluwo Ake for the Ikpebi rites and rituals to commence in accordance with tradition. At Ikpebi, representatives of the various townships in Egbaland paid homage to the ALAKE elect with Egba sons and daughters from all over the world.
Bàbá wa Adédọ̀tun Gbádébọ̀ tèmi jẹ́ kó náà kó pẹ́ lórí oyè. Jẹ́ kó rí ṣe ìwọ náà. Jẹ́ kí ìlú Ẹ̀gbá kó tù kó bà ní àsìkò tiẹ̀.
The 19th of November 2005 witnessed the colorful and glamorous installation of Oba ADEDOTUN Gbadebo as the ALAKE and paramount ruler of Egbaland.
Thank you, my Lord.
Kábíyèsí ẹ ò ní ṣìṣe.
Amen.
Ẹ̀mí yẹn á gùn.
Amen.
Ẹ̀mí yẹn á gùn.
Amen.
Ẹ ò ní fàìsàn lọ.
Amen.
Olúwa tì yín lẹ́yìn.
Amen.
Olúwa dúró tì yín.
Amen.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Oore ọ̀fẹ́ rẹ̀ bá wa ṣe.
Gbàdébọ̀ ogun kẹnu kẹrin. Ọba wa gbàdé, ọba wa gbàdé o. Ọba wa gbàdé o, Gbàdébọ̀ ogun kẹnu kẹrin. Kádé pẹ́ lórí. Ọba wa gbàdé o, Gbàdébọ̀ ogun kẹnu kẹrin o, kádé pẹ́ lórí. Ọba wa gbàdé, ọba wa gbàdé o. Ọba wa gbàdé o, Gbàdébọ̀ ogun kẹnu kẹrin, kádé pẹ́ lórí. Ọjọ́ Sátidé 19 November 2005 o. Lọ́gbàdé fún kábíyèsí o. Ọba Adédọ̀tun Gbádébọ̀ OKUKENU kẹrin. Ọmọ aráàké ni ò máa jó méjì o. OKUKENU kẹrin. Ọmọ aráàké ni ò máa jó méjì. Ọba Adédọ̀tun. Àti ìyá tí wọ́n tó sáré ẹgbẹ́
On the 3rd day of August, year 2005, the Prince ADEDOTUN Gbadebo as the ALAKE of Egbaland, of which appointment was subsequently duly notified. Now therefore, I, October State of Nigeria, in exercise of the powers conferred upon me by subsection 1 of section 20 of the Chief's Law, Cap 20, and of all other powers enabling me on their behalf, do hereby declare that the appointment of Prince ADEDOTUN AREMU as the ALAKE Egbaland, the area of authority of Abacha's government was approved on the 24th day of August by the entire members of the State Executive Council unanimously. Giving under my hand and the public seal of the state this 19th day of November, year
The illustrious son of
Nigeria, the illustrious son of Ogun State, and the illustrious son of Egbaland, who is being installed at the 10th ALAKE today, have a few things he shares in common with me. And you see, when you have somebody who shares something in common with you, being exalted, being uplifted, something of wrong with you if you are no sweet. Since I did not give myself a name, if every officials my middle name with me, then we have to ask his parents and my parents. That's their own lookout. Next, he went to the school I went. Thank you, Daddy. And in that grade, I just told her that he went to that school too. Well, I told her that Olu went to that school. Olubara went to that school. Bola Shatra Ibola went to that school. Well, if you want more names, I will give you. But the point really is this. If you look at the caliber of people that have gone to that school and are here, the school that has produced president, governor, OBAs, if not for bad the lesson, that school has produced 3 presidents. Let me leave that one as it is. I've said to Nigerians that if you want to learn how the federation works, go to Egbaland. You don't need to pay if you are going to. You don't need to.
The prosperity of Egbaland has continued to wax stronger during the reign of Oba ADEDOTUN GBADEBO. An illustrious son of Egbaland, Right Honorable Dimeji Bankole, is the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives of Nigeria.
I stood up as a father, as the ALAKE of Egbaland, to fight for the interests of every single Egba son, and I was no exception to that. Of course, I'm sure that even if I didn't have a personal relationship with him, he would still have done what he did, which was very influential, and even me becoming Speaker of the House. So I'm entirely grateful to God, to him, and to my parents. So, like I said, he would be the one I would call my father.
As the head of the administration that handed over the staff of office to Oba ADEDOTUN GBADEBO, the Ogun State Governor, Otumba Gbenga Daniel, has this to say.
It is not just significance, it is quite historical. Because I happen to have been in Abeokuta in 1972 when the last Oba, the Kabiyesi Oba Oyebadele was enthroned. I watched it live, but I didn't understand the significance until when I went into the archives to also see that coronation. I feel quite happy and excited that several years later, I now happen to be the person who has given the instrument of office to the current Kabiyesi, the ALAKE and Paramount ruler of Egbaland. I had known that he was going to become the ALAKE many, many years ago, because the nickname that they have always given him is Obalola, even when he was, when we didn't know what time is going to happen. And so, once we had the demise of Kabiyesi Oyebade, something tells me that Dada will be the next Kabiyesi. And of course, we allow the system to play itself. And I'm happy and excited that the people of Egbaland have chosen somebody who is royal and regal in presentation, somebody that they can be proud of, somebody who commands the respect, somebody who is an icon of EGBA disposition, and somebody who is a thoroughbred personality who also appreciates and understands his role, responsibilities, and somebody who is looking after EGBA interest. And we cannot blame him for that.
Another illustrious son of Egbaland, Alhaji Sharafa Tunji Ishola, the Tayeshi of Egbaland, former Minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I must say that since he ascended the throne of his forefathers, he has been very concerned about the development of Egbaland, and in conjunction with the state and federal government, the Egba's, Abeokuta and other parts of Egbaland has been witnessing a tremendous development, and we hope this kind of development will continue.
The deal with Kabiyesi, he did not abide by the deal. So I'm going to tell you a small joke about Kabiyesi. But if I leave, if you tell that joke, don't ask for help from me. In one week, he was in charge of education. He was my friend. So in the office, I gave him an assignment. He didn't do it well. So I said, Gadebo, anytime I ask you to do something, you think you are in the palace now? That palace, you will not smell it ever. So he said, yes, sir. I saluted and went out. I said, come back. That's not the way to salute. You are still not in the palace. Salute properly. So he saluted. And when we finished from work in the evening, I went to his house. So he sent his houseboy to tell him now the prince is sleeping, he's not coming down.
Kabiyesi, as a lover of sports, has keen interest in the game of golf.
Kabiyesi Oba ADEDOTUN GBADEBO, the ALAKE of Egbaland, has declared this tournament open.
Since he came onto the throne, EGBA has been moving ahead. We've been seeing new things in Egbaland.
You cannot describe him in one word. I can only say that if you look at his name, ADEDOTUN, EGBADEBO, is very apt. Very apt indeed. Because new things are going to happen in Egbaland during his reign, and we are looking forward to a very long and peaceful reign, full of development, full of achievements in Egbaland. And it behoves on the rest of us to rally around him and give him our cooperation and support. And that's precisely what we have given him. Long may he reign.
As the leader of Egba, it appears he has prepared himself for the truth. He brought in innovation into the system, modernizing the traditional system without bastardizing tradition, making things comfortable for people like us who are old, without forcing anything on anybody, and still getting things done the way they are done. And he has been very encouraging. He has done a lot. And I can tell you that he will actually continue to improve the Egbaland.
Let me start by thanking the Almighty Allah that He has given us ADEDOTUN GBADEBO OKUKENU as our paramount ruler at this point in history of Egbaland and history of Nigeria. We have found a very competent, dedicated, conscientious, and very progressive ruler who, within a very short time, has taught virtually every department of life of the Egba community. He has strengthened the unity of Egba people, starting from the top. I mean, the other royal fathers have rallied around him.
He has always been living as a prince. He has always been living like a prince. That is, he grew up in nobility. He was always careful, responsible, and he has always exhibited a lot of intelligence. And as a young man, if you were observant, you will actually know that he was a king in making, even when he was a very young man.
Kabiyesi is very, very intelligent, extremely patient, and for that two qualities which is brought into his reignship, and I think it has been very good for us, because for a person that is so intelligent and extremely patient about issues, the result of what we get is what we get today. Everybody is happy, and we are looking towards a brighter tomorrow.
The wife of the current Osun State Governor, who is also an indigene of Egbaland, Chief Mrs. Omolola Oyilola, describes Kabiyesi as a wonderful father. What kind of Oba is Oba ADEDOTUN GBADEBO?
Kabiyesi is a God-sent Oba to the Egbaland for the. As far as today is concerned, he is just like putting a round peg in a very round hole. We are lucky to have picked him as our Oba, and he's doing marvelously well.
As that he has been on the throne, the difference, I believe, is clear. Aside from the peace that the Egbaland and the Egba people continue to enjoy, significant development can be seen. This can easily be attributed to the contacts that he had made prior to coming to the throne, and the contacts that he continues to make as reigning ALAKE.
The Kabiyesi of ADEDOTUN GBADEBO OKUKENU the fourth, my elder brother, my first cousin, has been a great pillar behind the entire family, right as a kid. And I can remember that in 1991, we had the last family meeting in my mother's house at Onipanu. And my mother carried him and put him on her thighs and said to all of us that she's indicating to us that he will become Kabiyesi. And when it's time, nobody will oppose him. He has always been a great pillar behind the entire family. He was a unifying factor.
I've known him to be a very nice and generous person. He does not look at whether you are old or young. He plays with you. And that's the way he still holds on. He believes that the youth will come around and lift up wherever he is. He is a wonderful father, a good friend, and a fantastic.
Egba sons and daughters under the umbrella of Egba National Association, USA and Canada, gathered in Philadelphia for their second national convention. Here is the chairman of the occasion.
GBADEBO is a true ruler, a true Oba that within my heart should be emulated in every norms. He had made himself a replica of a true Oba in Egbaland. I met him just briefly after his coronation when he ascended the throne. And I came home with my vice chairperson, in person of Mr. Engineer Femi Feishito. in 2006. Kabiyesi didn't know us from Adam, but he welcomed us as the true sons of Egbaland. And since then we've been interacting. He had been a very good father, very, very humble. That we came back and gave a very detailed report about a very highly placed OBA within Egbaland that humbled himself that much that we have to give a credit to who credit is worthy given. It's just a wonderful person to me, and there's no other way I can relate it to anybody. He's a true born king and is highly gifted.
And the matron, Chief Mrs. Bolajoko Shotomi Kuti, has this to say.
My first encounter with Kabiyesi, and everyone has always been pleasant. My first encounter was actually when we had a phone conversation with him. When he was getting ready for his coronation. And at that time, I thought I would be able to see him, but then he was such a pleasant person. He puts every one of us at ease. An extremely intelligent person. Because when every one of us introduced ourselves, when he comes back, he remembers each person, which state they're from, their name, and what the questions were. So that has been very, very good. And he also happens to be a friend of my brother's, my late brother, Brigadier Shotomi. They were together in the army. So that gives us another close encounter, which has always been great.
And now the patron, Dr. Augustine Kayode Holly James.
Very warm, kind, and I think it's a noble king that will see that the Egbaland prosper in a mighty way. Láti have audience pẹ̀lú ALAKE, and wọ́n gbà mí tọwọ́ tẹsẹ̀. I was really impressed. We had a little talk. Since then we bounced on many times. I think ALAKE is very willing. I'm very happy to have met him, and I think I can ride on his coattail to achieve more from the work, especially in the Egbaland.
Ashe Goni, sir, for everything. Thank you for meeting my husband. Thank you for everything that you've done for us. I can't wait to meet you and say and greet you in person. Thank you for everything. Ashe Puposa. Kabiyesi. Kabiyesi. Kabiyesi.
The development of Egbaland and its people is paramount to the mind of Oba ADEDOTUN GBADEBO.
He's been a wonderful person. I've had an interaction with Kabiyesi. Somebody just referred me that I should go and see him in respect of something. And when I got there, I was full of apprehension because this is somebody that I was meeting for the first time that has never met me before. And after the normal greeting and all that, the way he attended to me and the person that we met him that day, so frank, honest opinion, things that we thought we had gotten to the last leg. He gave us a brief, step-by-step analysis of what we needed to do, and I discovered that, hey, we hadn't done anything at all.
A real father, a gem, a fantastic, loving, caring, humane, and just father. We, Egbaland, cannot wish for more.
We can go to him at any hour of the day. He is willing to talk to you about everything that will improve Egbaland. He's willing to discuss with you on diverse issues, most paramount of which is that how Egbaland can be moved forward, how the Egba customs and traditions can remain very relevant.
His reign in Egbaland has brought a lot of progress and development. If you look around, you see so many developmental projects, and we're very happy that his aura has brought in a lot of developmental things I was opportune to be in one of the occasions recently when he came to declare open a travel agency owned by one of us. And the comments of GBADEBO made that day, I've said it to many people and I'm repeating it. It will be in my memory till I die, and I'm going to pass it down to generation coming behind us. But GBADEBO said, call me to any commissioning. Be it for only 3 people, I'll be there to help to commission. This is very, very encouraging from an OBA, a first-class OBA in Egbaland.
He's been a wonderful person. He's perhaps because of his background from Baptist Boys School, which of course remains the pivot of so many good things in Nigeria today. I met Kabesi personally a couple of weeks ago when I went there to invite him for the official opening of my outreach travel agency. He obliged me the privilege of coming, and I was quite surprised. I just got there, I told him, and he said, even if it's going to be people opening a shop and the shop is going to employ the service of 1 or 2 people, I'll be gladly willing to be part of the opening ceremony.
Oba ADEDOTUN GBADEBO's reign is the beginning of good things happening to Egbaland.
I happen to have known His Royal Majesty even before he ascended the throne during my sojourn at the Liaison office in Lagos. I've always been a thorough, hardworking, and of course, as a military officer, a highly disciplined officer even before he retired. And since he retired, he has maintained a high level of discipline. And since he ascended the throne, we've been seeing a lot of changes as far as the Egbaland is concerned.
Since he became the paramount ruler of Egbaland, Egbaland, of course, has witnessed tremendous growth. You can see peace all over Egbaland.
Since he became the Kabesi of Egbaland, we witnessed so many progress here and there, and we know that with his reign there will be peace, there will be tranquility, and I'm sure there will be harmony among us.
Has witnessed phenomenal growth in Egbaland, Abeokuta in particular. I would say Kabesi has a tremendous touch, and with his coming on the throne, we've seen a lot of peace in Egbaland, and people are happy, and the general well-being of every Egba man or everybody staying in Egbaland is enhanced.
Egba has witnessed progress. We thank God today, one of the good sons of Egba has been elected the leader of House of Representatives right in Abuja, number 4 citizen in this country. This is coming in the reign of Oba GBADEBO.
Yóò wà lóróyè ó tù wá lá à ń rí jẹ à ń rí mu à ń rí ná owó dẹ̀ wà lọ́wọ́ wa Adédọ̀tun èèyàn yóò wà lóróyè yìí o Abẹ́òkúta dẹ̀rọ̀ dédé ń lọ lábẹ́òkúta ó padà wà bá wa.
Bàbá wa ọba arẹni lẹ́yìn tó ti dórí àlééfà yìí àǹfààní oríṣiríṣi ló wọ̀ ló Ẹ̀gbá kí ẹ̀mí ẹ̀gùn púpẹ́ fún wa.
Behind every successful man, there must be a woman, and good woman for that matter. Here is Olori, Dr. Mrs. Tokunbo GBADEBO.
We've been married for 36 years. We've actually known each other for more than 43 years. What has sustained the marriage? God Almighty. Basically, we get along well, and communication, I presume, is very important in being able to talk, and you understand each other. There's very little opportunity for things to go wrong. He has this gift of just being nice, of telling people things with hard truth in nice ways. Before he came to the throne, we were just a normal family. We lived in Lagos with our children, and well, we got on the best we could with what we had. The difference now is that here, you are in the public view quite a lot of the time. You have to watch what you say, you have to watch what you do. It hasn't changed our lifestyle. we are still very much the same people we are. I see my role as Olori as that of supporting Kabiyesi in whatever he does. That is my primary mission here, to give him support, to make sure that the home front is happy so that he will be in a better frame of mind to perform his duties. And I channeled all my efforts and all my resources and all my time. And I roped in a few of my friends who have been very, very nice, very cooperative. Many people from here whom I met here and who have like minds. And we faced the chapel. You can see the results yourself. Basically, that is the way that I function. I don't see any conflict between education and education. Olori Ashishe, yes, and I take great pleasure as soon as that is the only prayer when people pray for Kabiyesi, especially the chiefs. That is the one prayer that I answer Ashe in a very loud voice too. Of course, some of them will say, Olori Ashishe, Ashe as well, because I have 4 sons, they're all grown, 2 of them are married, and therefore we have lots of Oloris in the palace, and may they all share be successful.
OBA ADEDOTUN GBADEBO is blessed with children and grandchildren, but how do the children see their father?
1001 things, but always as that is a father, is always educating people, calling people in, bringing them in and counseling them. So luckily he's not as tough as some of the other military fathers will be, but he's still tough, but at least he still counsels you, and it's not just you have a punishment, he will punish you, he talk to you, don't do this, don't do this, this is how you are supposed to have things done. That's the kind of father he is. Kabiyesi ni daddy gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ àti àwọn ọmọ àbúrò wọn and everybody else. Wọ́n máa tọ́jú mi, máa tọ́jú everybody. Kabiyesi, mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín fún gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ti ṣe fún mi ní gbogbo ayé mi. Mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín fún àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ ṣe máa ṣe sí Kabiyesi, ẹ ṣé sá.
Kabiyesi's eldest son. Okay, I'm a medical practitioner by profession.
I'm Adewale, Badebo's wife. My name is Wani Badebo. We live together in the UK and I'm a registered nurse.
Well, my wife and I see Kabiyesi as a loving, caring father, a strict disciplinarian, an educationist who imbibes in his children, and doing well is important in life. That is not based on what your father is, but based on what your achievement is in life, based on hard work and integrity. That's the only way you can ever make something in your life. And the most important thing in life is to have not just a good name, but a good reputation as well. Kabiyesi.
Ọba kí ọmọ ọba. Ọba kí ọ. Bá kí ọmọ ọba. Bá kí ọ. Ọba kí ọ.
One good turn deserves another.
And to whom much is given, much is expected.
Àwọn ọmọ Ẹ̀gbá lèyí tó ṣe kísà níjà òmìnira. Wọ́n kọ́kọ́ jagunjagun wọ́n bọ́ àjàgà jìnnà. Ẹ̀gbá Aláké méjì dédé Ẹ̀gbá Òwú. Ẹ̀gbá Ẹ̀kúrá la dókè ọ̀nà. Ẹ̀gbá lùgbé dédé wọn Ẹ̀gbá lùwẹ́ àfihàn gbogbo wọn sábẹ́ Olúmọ. Ẹ̀gbá Ẹ̀gbá tí ọmọ akoro sílẹ̀ fún ọ̀tẹ̀. ẹ wá pọ̀sẹ̀sẹ̀ kárẹ́lẹ́ ẹ̀gbà líbí káyé ayọ̀ àjọ̀dún òmìnira ọmọ aṣojú ni wọ́n ṣíwájú apin agbálẹ̀ ẹgbàmẹ̀ ẹ̀gbá dé ọmọ aṣàlọ̀ pé tó jàjà wàràwàrà iyọ̀ kẹ́lẹ́kẹ́lẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ òjò kan ni wọ́n.
God's Chosen Productions, Adewale Dada the Good.